Welcome to Your Message Matters. I'm so excited to be here today, both on YouTube and the Win-Win Women platform. So excuse me for just a second while I click the record button so that we can get started. Okay, start recording. And there we have it. I am so, wait, it did not. Oh, there we go. Welcome to Your Message Matters. I'm so grateful to be here today with you. And I love this topic. I know that most first-time authors are not thinking in terms of beyond the book. Well, if you are, kudos to you, and I'll give you a round of applause because most don't. I know for me, if you're like me at all, when I wrote my first book, I was just so excited to get it done. And the whole time I was writing it, that's all I could think of is getting the book done. But today's topic is very exciting because this will help you beyond your book being completed. We are going to be talking about your media kit. Some people call it a speaker's kit. Some people call it an author's kit. But this is a document, and actually it's a lot of things that would be in one file, so to speak, very handy for you. So when you have the opportunity to promote yourself on any kind of media, this will help you. You will have everything handy and ahead of time. And I know that I had a mentor one time that used to always talk about being prepared. So if you have your media kit prepared, you don't have to panic when you get this opportunity, because I can tell you, once your book is done and you have launched it to bestseller and you're promoting that launch, it's going to get attention. There will be eyes on you, and they will be looking for you to share with their audience. Now, who's they and who's there? Well, that's up to you. I don't know who's in your world that can influence others, but me for one. When your book is done, I hope you will reach out to me and let me know so that I can help you get the word out. And I would love to connect with you to see if you're a good candidate for my show. On this show, Your Message Matters, I love interviewing authors to let people know more about you and your book journey, because that has so much value to those people that are still in the process. So your message matters. That's what we talk about on this show. And let me tell you, if you're a person of faith, your message matters. If you're a business owner, your message matters. If you are a parent or grandparent, your message matters. This is a way that we share our stories with those that can be impacted by it. I don't know who your reader's going to be or the audience that will love you. I don't know where they are for you. But when you discover the beauty of having those doors open for you, I have to tell you, there's nothing more exciting. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. I think we each have a purpose within our souls and a message that's burning to get out, and maybe more than one if you're like many people. But as the world opens up to opportunities for you, you're going to have interviews, podcasts, speaking opportunities, and additional writing opportunities. So you may be invited to be part of a collaborative book. You never know what doors are going to open for you. So what do we do about all of that? What do we need to have to be prepared? And what on earth is a media kit? So a media kit is a promotional package with information about you, your message, and the people that you serve. You are going to want to use this media kit so that people know you're a professional, that you have your stuff together. And that's what this show is about. We want to help you with just that. Like my friend Jackie. She got her book done and almost immediately was interviewed on a show on TV that she had watched for years, Holy Spirit Broadcasting Company. She not only interviewed with one of the show hosts, but almost right after that, they offered her a position to have her own show. This was incredible. Here's something that she had watched and admired for years. Now she was a part of it. And so this is what you need to be prepared for when you are an author and when your book gets published. These doors open. I mean, you just don't even know where they're going to come from. So what should you have in your media kit? The first thing you have to do to prepare yourself for these opportunities is have your message, your book message, it could be your description, really dialed in so that you know who you serve, how you serve them, and the problem you solve, even if it's entertainment. Right? I mean, you may have a book that's all about comedy. I don't know. Whatever your book's topic is, you want to be able to share that succinctly. You also need, I mean, you really need to be working on your your talk that you're going to give. And I teach, and many other people do too, because that's how I learned it, is your talk should be in segments. So all you have to do if somebody says, "Hey, we have a 15-minute segment, we have a 15-minute segment that we would like you to fill," then all you have to do is look at your little plug and play uh, vignettes or little ditties, as I like to call them sometimes. You know what to plug in to create a 15-minute talk. You're going to have an intro. You're going to have the exit. I hope you'll have an offer, but make sure you ask your host if you can make an offer. And by all means, do your research, look at that person who is the host, find out what their audience is all about and how you can put them in the spotlight. They are putting you in the spotlight, so do a return kindness and highlight them. Make sure you say some things in gratitude with having the opportunity. So you need to have your talk, what you're going to say when you have an opportunity come up. You're going to have your topic that you want to speak on and what it's all about. So you're going to start creating a file folder on your computer or someplace where you can access it very easily. You want to have your talk in there, and you want it in time chunks, because then you can mix and match depending on the audience, depending on the host, depending on your opportunity. You will be able to craft that talk, or this is very smart. And when you're on my show, this is what we do together. I want to make sure that I know what questions, as a host and as an interviewer, you're the interviewee, I want you to tell me, what questions would you like me to ask? Now, on this show, we are all about helping authors. So you have a journey you've been through. And I am going to ask you at least one question that has to do with what your process was like. And sometimes it's very specific, sometimes it's more general, but have a list of questions that you want to be asked when you have an opportunity to speak or be interviewed. This is really important. that you have your homework done. Don't scramble around like I've done so many times, by the way, because I didn't know this stuff in the beginning. And when I started getting opportunities, it was like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? You don't want to be in that position. So you want to have a thumbnail. That's just like a little piece of artwork that can be used for promoting the show or the opportunity you have. I really like having 3D images. We've talked about these in the past and the tools that we use to create those. But even if you don't have anything fancy, just the rectangle that is your book cover, have that readily available because people will want to put that in their promotional advertisements, whether it be on social media or creating flyers or whatever they're going to do to promote the show that you're going to be on. Or you may even create your own show and you'll want maybe a cover and a thumbnail picture of your book cover and one of you. So get current headshots. If you notice all of the things on the internet about me, all you have to do is Google my name and you're going to see my hair changes. I have had long hair. I've had short hair. So get something current so it really looks like you. You don't want to give somebody a headshot of you with long hair when you have short hair, or vice versa. When you have short hair and your hair is really long, you want it to be current. So hire somebody. If you don't know of somebody in your area and you live in my area, I've got some names for you. So you also want to have like your unique proposition statement. This is a statement that is maybe 3 or 4 bullets that will be all about your book. It's statements that is kind of about you, but specifically about your book. You'll want to have handy some endorsements. Now, you may have endorsements for your book, and they could be in general about you. Either one is okay, but be specific as to what they are. And if you are applying to be a speaker for an event, make sure your endorsements apply to that event and apply to speaking if you can. So, helpful hint to the side, anytime you have an opportunity to speak, even if it's a small audience or a big audience, ask for an endorsement, ask for a testimony, ask them for how did it work out? Were you good with what I did? And a lot of times you will really be surprised at how wonderful these emails come back. You could do it email or even better yet, you want a video testimonial about you and your speaking ability. Let's see, what else do we need in our toolkit? You need a bio, but it has to be succinct and applicable. So a lot of times, if you're in the business world or in the world of speaking or being an author, you are going to have a bio. But don't be like one of those people that applied to be on my show. Her bio was like 6 pages long. I could have just read her bio on my show, but we wouldn't have had any time for anything else. Make it short and succinct. Don't leave it up to that show host to try to figure out how best to put you in a good light. And don't frustrate them like that. Don't give them pages and pages and pages of all of your accomplishments, even though they may be many and incredible. Just pick a few things to say that they can use to introduce you on the show. If it's a 30-minute show like mine, you definitely are not gonna want a 30-minute bio, right? So cut it down to a minute or two. That's what you'll need for your media kit. And make sure, like I said, you have your sample interview questions. And also, if you are promoting your book, sometimes we use our books for other things, but it's always a good idea, I think, to link that potential person that's going to have you on their stage, whether it's a virtual stage or in-person stage, I think it's very nice for you to offer them your book. And when I go in person and I'm speaking about my book, I always take a signed copy that says, "Thank you so much for having me. I hope my book adds value to you," or some kind of message inside. Now, that's really hard to do online, although depending on when your um, engagement's going to be, sometimes you actually can mail it to them. So think about those things too and link them at a minimum of 1 or 2 chapters that you're going to talk about when you are in that opportunity to have a media engagement. Make sure that you've downloaded some photos of you, but make sure that they are not let's see. So let me see if I can explain this well. Each photo has pixels, right? And a very detailed photo will have many, many, many pixels. It's actually a very large file. Or you can have files that are much smaller. You want the smaller version because they're not going to be printing anything for you. Well, unless it's going in a flyer of some sort. Maybe you're doing a in-person conference, that may be a little different. So the bottom line is ask them what type of photo you want, because what you might see on a social media post doesn't have to have, in fact, it shouldn't have a huge quantity of data to upload. You want it dummied down, so to speak. You want to make sure that you have good contact information. And note to self, you want to make sure that it's contact information that is the best contact for you. I tell people all the time, if you want to reach out to me and get a more immediate response, send me a text message. That is the best way to reach me. Now, I also monitor messages on social media, primarily Facebook. So wherever you hang out, make sure that people know how to get an immediate response, or if you're negotiating and still trying to figure things out, email is fine, but give them an email address that you monitor daily and then monitor it daily. That makes sense, right? You also will like to give them your social media links. Now, I don't give my Pinterest link because I don't have a whole lot of Pinterest. Now, maybe I will someday, but depending on who it is that I am interested in adding value to their audience through media of some sort, I will give them my social media links. Like if it's business to business, I'm probably going to give a LinkedIn address. My main platform for me is Facebook, but I also dabble in TikTok, for example. I've been uploading videos there here recently, and sometimes I also am on Instagram. Now through Meta, which owns both Instagram and Facebook, you can do both at the same time. But make sure that you give them the links that you want them to have. Don't give them just anything. Give them what you want them to have that seems applicable for this engagement that you're interested in. So one of the great tools that you can use, and I have, let me open this up. I think I still have. I always try to set up the show where I'm kind of paying attention, but then what happens is I'll open up another window and maybe while I'm waiting, I'm doing something else. But I had my, let's see, Canva. I am looking for my Canva. Hold on just a minute while I find this. Here we go. Sorry that took so long. I always try to have it together, but if you know me much, you will know As hard as I try, I'm still clunky. But as time goes on, I get a little better and a little better. So here is Canva, and what I put in is Media Kit. In fact, it actually populated with Media Kit for an influencer. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to do one for an influencer, but what's nice about this is you can kind of take a look at these. Now, I do have the pro version um, of Canva, and so it's going to give me some options that may not be available to you if you don't have the pro version. But these, in fact, I'm going to take the influencer off because here is one that I really liked. It is several pages long, as you can see, and each page kind of has a different purpose. So this is the cover. And you want to have a photo of you, a current, we just talked about that, right? A current photo of you. And if you can get somebody, especially a photographer, if you have a friend that's a photographer or want to hire somebody to do some photos like this that are very natural, not just your stiff headshot. If all you have is a headshot, no worries. You can use your headshot. But if you have some fun ones like this lady's photo, isn't that engaging? And it makes her look like in a really good light, I think. She has her website here on the side, and she also is saying what type of speaker she is. So she is a motivational speaker and women's coach. I think it is really smart to, if you're an inspirational speaker, if you're an educational speaker or a motivational speaker, I think it's really important to state that right in the beginning. Now, this gives you a little bit about her. Now, take a look here. See, this is not a 6-page bio. We can't do a 6-page bio. But what you can do, if you want to, is on your website, you may have a longer bio with more details about you. But make this one succinct. And again, I highly believe in plug and play type things. So if your audience is young women, you want to create a bio that's kind of touching on how you serve young women. It may be different if you serve both men and women. You may have a talk that's specific for women, and you might have another talk that is for any audience. So you can put in your bio kind of this mix and match kind of thing. And again, here's some more, or here is another photo about her that shows her again working hard here with her computer. And then you can see her social media. This is very important. You want to let people know how many people are following you on social media. This can make or break your opportunities. And don't feel bad if you don't have a lot of people in your social media. Don't put numbers if you have 3 followers. But start building those numbers up and make sure that you're reaching out to people that you know. This is a great way to show them that people care about you and what you have to say. Now, here's a little blurb here about your speaking topics. And you can also, once you start having these opportunities, make sure that you put them right here in and around your testimonials. So I know on my speaker page on my website, I have a lot of logos only for different places that I've had the opportunities to speak. And then you also want to put your client testimonials. If you have a video testimonial, honestly, you want to put those in, at least a link to it in your media kit. If you have a podcast, or like with me, I have this live stream show on Win Win Women TV. I can put this here until my podcast gets up and running. If you have a blog, and see, there's statistics here that people will be interested in, and maybe your most downloaded episodes or your most popular blogs. These are really good to know. And on this page, she is very specific with her target market, her avatar, her perfect fit audience. And of course, it's going to be very similar to your target audience or your perfect fit reader for your book. And then here is a way to get in touch with her. So this is a media kit that you already have a template, or at least access to templates online. If you Google it, sometimes somebody may just want, I'm going to stop sharing. Somebody may just want a speaker sheet, or your book trailer, or a reel about your book. These are great to have available as well. So as you create your speaker kit, your media kit, your author's kit, whatever name you want to give it, I hope you will enjoy this episode, as I hope I've given you value as to how to put that together. And if you're waiting for your editor to finish your manuscript, you can be working on these things simultaneously so that it's ready when you launch your book. It is great to be with you today. I always appreciate you being here live, and I want you to know I am a hero for you. Reach out to me, because I would love to help you in any way I possibly can. I am grateful that I have some influence on social media in a particular area specifically. Your message matters, of course. I also speak on leadership, for example. I love leadership. I'm part of the John Maxwell team because I love him and leadership. So thank you for being a part of this show, and thank you for watching. You can find me on Facebook in the Facebook group, no, it's not Your Message Matters. It's called Write Your Book Now, Authors Helping Authors. And if you're an author working on a book, I hope you'll join me there and introduce yourself. Let people know about your book, and then we can help you. Make sure you tag me so that I see you, and have a great day. God bless you, and thank you for